All right, so beginning that breathing practice, and we've been studying forever that heart coherence breathing. It has just expanded throughout the world. You can know that you really are connecting with all of the energetics of the humanity, and that there are at this point, with almost 9 billion people, well, we got 8+ billion people, we know. We're really probably in a group of almost 1 billion by now of people on this planet that are practicing mind-body practices and practices that are widely varied in the integration of the new sciences. And the one I've been attending for the last few weeks, and I actually bought the summit, is the collective trauma summit, the understanding of a world movement to heal the collective trauma. And it presents things from the first person, from one single person on up through the generations, and then through the whole of humanity, of what's happening. And what are the larger traumas? And what are the traumas we all experience worldwide? And even the trauma of the earth. And what that is, sort of presenting an existential threat, which becomes a trauma. Catastrophes in different places that then we get to see because of these because of the connectedness, the global connectedness. And actually they can be very traumatic too. So come to your in the vortex that we looked at before, the song about your life's purpose, is also part of that. It's like the vortexes, the traumas caused by, we're like little vortexes where we spun out, and then we adapted and we created behavioral adaptations to get to live. So go to heart-brain coherence. So you have to always go back to inhale gratitude through your heart, fill with the beautifulness, with all the things that you love. I mean, I can just flip through photos in my brain of different places in nature that I've gone, and that fills me. So go to gratitude for people in your life, gratitude for things that you know that are part of your life. Like for me, I'm an artist. I have gratitude for colored pencils, gratitude for the paper, gratitude for whatever I need to do my art in the world, gratitude for my garden, gratitude for my home, my roof over my head, gratitude for my friends, gratitude for all of you. There's so much. And so I always practice gratitude, and I come back to it. But during the vortex, I lose it all. So that's something that is, conscious. Okay, I'm going to let this in, and I'm going to sit in gratitude and love and joy and rest and relax and freedom and peace. And know that, yes, we're not necessarily prepared for the chaos. But chaos is part of that scientific chaos theory. And the chaos theory, if you look into it, it's fractals. And fractals are amazingly beautiful. And fractals teach us how everything, moment to moment, is always changing. And so really, it's all really one big, beautiful, huge, amazing, overlapping fractals. And systems breaking apart and coming together, breaking apart and coming together. And as they break apart and come together, they also evolve. And it can be on our little system level. I'm taking a trip. It's breaking apart my old way. I got to put together a new way. And in between, it's the chaos theory. And even though it's beautiful, it's the vortex. It's the spinning. It's the lists spread out on the table of things to do. It's the changes. It's the what happens inside our body is like it's an amygdala. response. It's a adrenaline. There's some fear in there. There's a lack of trust. So breathe gratitude through the heart. Know that you are lighting up the brain, which isn't used to this, from the neurites of the heart. So you're connecting with the brain, neurites of the heart. I haven't gone into the details of how the whole biology works in the brain, but it's quite the brain has been unraveled, you might say. We know so much about the brain at this point. And just, I'm putting one hand on my heart and one hand on the crown of my head just to help my body physically get the sensation of I'm breathing gratitude through my heart. Hold at the top of the breath when you get to that time that you can, the next breath. And then as you exhale all the way, push it all the way out. All the way out. And inhale again and hold at the top of the breath. And then hold. And then exhale it all the way out. Keep breathing it all the way out. Believe it or not, this is the remedy. One of the remedies. Inhale, hold the breath at the top of the breath. And then exhale it all the way out. This is one of the remedies for switching the brain from fight, flight to, peace, love, calm energy, to close down the response of the adrenaline, norepinephrine, the fight, flight response. Then bring your hands together and lace the fingers. I haven't taught you this one. You lace the lower fingers and you put the pointer finger and the thumb together, and see if wherever you're seated, you can be on a chair, you can be lying down. Remember, you can choose whatever surface you want to be on, where everything can be applied. And just see if you can reach up out of the crown of the head. And this is the yoni mudra. This is for our feminine power. And we are, coming into this time of really recognizing what happened at a higher, deeper, more complex and multidimensional level of what happened to the feminine population. On modeling, on history, on just how it occurred in the human population. And we're seeing a lot of rising up, and in a beautiful way. I'm so excited for it. And this just feels comfortable to me. The thumb and the pointer finger are kind of just hanging out there, holding the hands in a certain position. You can see if this works for you. You see if it feels good to you. You can always choose Gyan Mudra, mental clarity, whatever you want. We've got a lot of mudras we've studied. And then take into your consciousness number 1 on this chart. It's called dimensional realignment. And the number 22 is pretty interesting. And we're in the world of, 2022. And number 1 is walk with me. It's walk with me on the earth. It's the walking and anchored really deeply into the earth. So imagine taking yourself and taking your spine and then going and letting that spinal cord go all the way to the bottom of the earth. You are really down, connected to the earth deeply. And I love that that Gabriella, she did also give us animals, so you can think of the elephant and the hippo and the moose and the bear. And then think of this as a way of working with this, because you can feel overburdened by the weight of the world on your shoulders. And sometimes, like when our parents are going through transitions, or we're going through transitions, we feel that weight of the world. And so to counter that, you say, I am free. And I am really heavy. I'm a hippopotamus. I'm a hippopotamus or an elephant. Then bring your thumbs together at your heart. You can keep those pointer fingers up if you want. Or you can bring all the fingers together. So we do this mudra a lot. And the mudras are there so that you don't, you can think of it as yoga for your hands. They're all connected to meridians or the Ayurvedic nadis. They're all connected to your meridian endings in your hands, your feet, roof of your mouth, your ears. And so you're really working the power of the fingertips. And you're lighting up your body, imagining that you are that white light that is broken into the spectrum. And know that I am light. So I played that India Ari song, I am light. I just love it. It's just it's so right on for I am light. Then the thumbs come to your third eye. And here is where we start to get into number 2 on the chart here, which is, it is feel creative, energetic, secure. You're in nature, perhaps. You're like a horse. I feel focused and I create my world. And with that, what you're doing is your imagination, your inspiration, your intuition, and the integration of all that has come into your life, integrating. And there you will find the new creation. Then tap the top of your head and remember we've been working with this transformational time, which has moved from 7 chakras to 12. And we open our arms in representation of the ones that are above us. There are a few that are somewhere else, and I haven't really, there's some controversy about where they sit. So I haven't taught them. But up into the uppers, there's the soul star chakra. And the new chakra systems all in crystalline, you think of crystals instead of sunshine light or light coming out. And actually, the old way of looking at the chakras is through vortexes that come out of the front of your body and the back of your body. And so you might see drawings of that. The new ones are about crystalline light. And so it's crystalline light of the soul star chakra, the universe chakra, the galaxy chakra, or the galactic chakra, and the chakra beyond. And then bring the hands together and namaste. And it's just a simple way of honoring that you've taken the time out to do this practice. You're honoring yourself. This is your place of embracing yourself with your own knowledge that you are amazing. We're not often told how amazing we are. My whole life, the word pride was, you weren't supposed to be proud. It was like being too uppity if you were proud. So take a moment and embrace yourself with amazingness, that you're proud of where you've come and what you've learned along the path. And, whatever journey you've been on, the journey you have journeyed through, and that you have learned on the path, this place where you have come back to yourself, in your creative self, honor your new creation, whatever it might be. See yourself sitting on the planet, sitting on the earth, actually just in a place that you love. Gratitude for that spot. I am free. I am focused. And I create my world. My life is simple and harmonic. I feel safe. I am connected. I flow gently through the waters. I feel organized. All is perfect, in perfect order. I am seen, I am heard, I'm complete. I feel clear. I feel the clarity. I am authentic. And finally, I am flexible. I am calm. I am refreshed. I move with ease. And then release this and release the posture you're in, whatever. If you're seated on a chair, just stretch out and shake your legs out. If you're seated on the floor like I am, then I push the cushion away. I'm shaking my legs out. And then I'm going to bring my feet up, and you can do this on a chair or on your bed, and drop knees side to side. Ah. And we're going to come down to the floor so we can do a few core exercises, just because we want to wake up that part of the body. So bring yourself down and lengthen the legs out, reach the arms above your head, and first stretch. Now, if you're on a chair, then then stand up even, and it's easier to stand up and stretch. You can do it on a chair, but reach up and reach out and stretch. You can do this on a couch, wherever you have a space that feels like you can stretch. And remember, everything can be done lying down, seated, or standing. Some of it's a little more engaging in one position or another, holding the breath and then relaxing. And then again, bringing the feet flat to the floor and drop the knees side to side. Now, I've talked with several of you that if you sat cross-legged like I do, you might find tingling in your feet. There's quite a lot of us as we get older, we find that we have a little bit of developing neuropathy. And the thing for neuropathy is to keep moving the feet. And so that's what we'll do a lot of in this first beginning part here. And then bring the knees in. We'll do a spinal twist a little later. Pull the knees in and roll the knees in a circle. Massage the lower back. Deep breaths here as you're rolling and massaging and grounding into the earth. So the first 14 steps are all about the journey we take. And there's challenges to each one of those steps. And I will send this out to you, and I will, and then you can read it for yourself. But I think it's a very brilliant, it's where we take our thoughts in time and space. So you can imagine some of it is on the earth, and then some of it is out with like the moon and the stars, or the cosmos. And then the cosmic vortex is the tornado, or it's the whirlpool, or it's the black hole. Then pull the knees in, open the knees wide, roll the ankles, and point and flex the feet. So yeah, just keep those feet going. And then lift the head into reclined frog and breathe, and then let go of the arms if you want, and hold on to the head with the hands if you want. And if you're on a chair, just widen your legs out and lift up the legs if you want, fold down if you want. You're just inner thigh stretch. Head comes back down, feet up, shake everything out, dead bug posture. Roll the ankles and the wrists. Breathing, grounding into the earth, feeling how far up the spine can you feel. Notice where the back of the head is. Maybe your head needs to be on a cushion, so your neck is getting a little relief there if that's part of your journey. And then bring the knees back down, and this time feet come up in the air. You're going to take those hands and let them come up the shin, or catch the ankle, or catch all the way to the toes if you can. And you can always use a strap. And again, if you're on a chair, just widen your legs out and fold over all the way down. Let the arms come down, let the head come down. Or you can try to bring one leg up at a time. You can play with it. And then release that. And you're going to reach out and roll and move all of your joints, especially, if you didn't do the dancing piece, that's where we move all of our joints. And it's really like a warm up for the whole body. So this is a on the ground, with the back on the floor into the earth warm up. Gentle, you just bring your arms and legs up and move them. More vigorous would be lift the head, breathing, and then more vigorous than that would be twisting. And if you're sitting on a chair, you can stand up, or you can sit on the edge of the chair and you can move from there. You can do this on a bed. Also, it's just a little softer, so you sink into the bed a little bit. And breathe and move and breathe and move. Notice how the abdominals are already starting to connect here. the longer you do this. And then the neck is being strengthened, but if it's too much, then go back to either head on the floor or hold the head up with one hand. And then pause and freeze. And this is where we look at that understanding of the space and the space between. Now, it's a huge understanding in terms of your journey. You know, what's the space in between and what is the space? What does it mean? What's the solidity? What is the thing you think of as solidity or stableness, something stable or grounded? But really, there's always this concept. If you're an artist, you might have done some playing with that. How do you draw the space and the space between? And then come down. That space between, I remember it was a lesson in actually high school art, I think. And pull the knees in and feet flat on the floor, hands behind your head. And you know where we're going. Press into the lower back. This is the simplest way of playing with that core strength. And with that, if you just press into the lower back and flatten your spine, you can just start the cerebral spinal fluid balancer and see how your body presents itself on the floor like this, pressing off from like the feet without pushing. It's really just a rocking. I'm just going to let my hands be part of this just so you can see that rocking, but you can have your arms down at your sides, but it's just a very gentle balancing of the cerebral spinal fluid. And you can imagine this fluid. And you can go online and you can get a picture of it through a diagram. And then pause, press into the lower back and hold. And that is an abdominal strengthener. And you can take it further with the hands behind the head and exhale as you come up and exhale as you come up. I like to blow it out. You can go slower or faster. And if you're on a chair, you can lift both, you can hold onto the bottom of the chair and lift both legs up, or just go into lifting one leg at a time. Then hold the posture and just hold and take a breath here. Not holding your breath, but you are holding your core. You know, you're pressing into the lower back and holding it. And then down. Take a deep breath in. And this time you can just do the same thing or lift your feet off the floor in table position or lengthen out your legs. And do about 5 or 6. At your own pace. And then hold again. And then bring your knees in, take a deep breath in. Deep breath in and let it go with a sigh. Vibrating and letting that 5th chakra open. That's speaking your truth. Even if it's speaking your truth to yourself, you want to open. Singing does it, breathing does it, sighing does it, sounding does it. Remember, I taught last week, I taught about the sound, and how Maharaji always taught that this is the whole universe in that sound. And then to understand that was the lesson of the universe. Then it's knee to elbow. Now it could be tapping one knee. If you're on a chair, you can bring hand to a knee, you can do the elbow to the knee, or you can see it in your mind's eye if you're cleaning your house and bringing the elbow up. And then you can bring the feet up off the floor. So, and some of you might be able to lengthen one leg out. Now, this core strength that we build is really the solar plexus, and this is your power center. Exhale on each side. And that power center is where you take your imagination, you take your creation into action. It's sort of like the action center. And then hold one side, and it's you standing up and saying yes to the next step. yes, I can. Yes, I'm going to go forward. Yes, I know what I want inside. And then the other side, and hold. Don't hold your breath. And then knees come in. Take a deep breath in and out. And then rock yourself up. Now rock or roll over to your side. And just loosen again. I'm just loosening. Actually, we didn't do our spinal twist. So if you're still on a chair, sit down on the chair, on the edge of the chair, or sitting back, whatever best for that particular chair, and bring yourself to the right and the knees to the right. And remember, I just love this spinal twist, and it's really good on the chair too. Like if you ever have a doctor's appointment or something, and you have to wait in the waiting room, do some chair yoga. I always do chair yoga. And the spinal twist on the chair, you have the arms of the chair or the back of the chair to like really help you twist further. And you want to keep your range of motion here. So twist all the way around, look over the right shoulder. Keep the head going over. Now notice if you've lost a little range of motion in your neck, from a stiff neck or a shoulder trapezius that locked up or levator that locked up. Those two muscles are the typical ones that lock up. And then bring back it around into the other side. This is even more strong than doing it just standing or doing it on the floor. If your body doesn't like this position, there's all the other options. There's even standing up, putting your hip against the wall, and then putting your hands on the wall. And then come back around, look over the left shoulder, take a couple breaths, feel it on that left side, feel the breath going through your body. Feel how the breath stretches you. It's a great one to notice how the breath is stretching you, body, mind, and spirit. Your eyes are open, so they're stretching as well. And then back around. We're going to come up, and I know that there's two of us with the wrist issues. So coming up to your hands and knees, a quick movement here, just getting the spine moving, and then tuck the toes behind you, straighten the legs out. Now you can have your hands on the base of a chair, on a table, or you can find another stretch for your hamstrings. It's just good to do it every day. Something for those hamstrings and something for the quad. And then walk forward. Hang over in ragdoll or supported squat, or hands on the knees. That's even a more supported squat. And just see what you can do there. See what you want to do there. Those of you with the flexibility may want to go into standing forward bend, so you can continue that flexibility in the spine to be able to do that. Then bend the knees and bring yourself up. The arms coming up give you a little bit more stability as you come up and don't make you as dizzy, and hands at the heart. Okay, my clock says 11:48. So remember, I usually go 5 minutes after 12 for those of you that can handle that. So here we go. It's the breath of joy. Because boy, I'm feeling energized. Let's energize. Let's energize even more. Let's think of joyfulness. Let's think of that gratitude turning into joy, and what the path to joy is when we're going through the vortex. And the vortex is interesting. Those first 14 steps are amazingly grounding, imaginative, creative, part of nature, full of animals that help you fly. There's, as we even get, we go through all the way through the vortex, there's the hummingbird and the swan and the egret. And then it's really interesting to use animals as metaphors and animals to embrace them. So breath of joy, bring into your heart an animal you'd like to hold in your heart. It could be one you know or one you love. I'm bringing in the swan. So here we go. And at your own pace. Last time. And remember to hook up, because that can make some people dizzy, not everybody. But that this also stabilizes you. If you're feeling the spinning of your vortex, if you're feeling that kind of like, I don't know. Stand every morning, wake up and do this. Third finger in the belly button, third finger at the third eye. It's energy medicine. And there's, I've taught a lot of energy medicine. This is one of them. Okay. Now, always want to do a balancing posture. So I'm just considering balancing postures. And I always do the double work of a balancing posture that's also going to stretch something. Now you can go into a really simple one, tree. Toe on the floor, hands at your heart, hands above your head, wherever you want them. You can bring the toe up above your ankle. I'm going to do dancer, because I need to stretch my quad. And partly why I'm here is for myself, to do the stretches that I need. And that was my door. I realized I had to close in order for the lighting to be a little bit better. So dancer freestanding is, catch an ankle. And I'm already holding onto a wall. So I'll show it to you here, holding onto a wall. But you can hold on that way, or you can hold on this way, or you can put your knee on a chair, and you're just stretching your quad. So you're just down, forward, and back, stretching that quad, and you can feel the tightness. It also helps the knee to stretch like that. And then you walk up the wall with your hand. And then if you want to let go, and you're still just balancing on one leg, you can bend that one leg in the knee, and you can see how balanced am I. And then if you want to really go further, then you're making a little back bend. I can't quite go that far, but the great yogis with the huge flexibility, which one of your two of you might have, go up there. And then you let go on that side. Feel that standing leg. That was my right leg that was holding on, and I'm going to shake it out. I'm going to go to my left leg, and right hand is on the wall. And I'm sorry, left leg is standing, right knee is bent. I'll go over here just because, you can see it on the other side. It's nice to have a wall in your house. There's so many, if you have walls that you can actually access. But also tables and chairs are accessible too. If you have a chair, put it up against the wall so it doesn't move. And just stretch. And so this is my right leg that I'm stretching. Left leg is holding there. Now you might bend that knee, and you might decide to focus on something not moving, and see if your hand can come off of the wall, and how high up can you go. And you're breathing, and you're opening the right shoulder maybe, and then let it go. Shake it out. Today I want to, if you have a strap, you may need it, or a scarf, but I wanted to work with opening our shoulders standing. So one way is to catch the forearms. The other way is to lace the fingers and reach out. The other way with a strap, some of you may have seen me doing this during our song, is that that strap sometimes allows you to do all sorts of things. Now, if you don't have a strap, you can always use a scarf, or you can use, some kind of towel or piece of fabric, so the strap, I'm going to show you a few things on the strap today that are standing ones, just so we could add a little repertoire to our what we do when we meet up with each other. And one is here, and you'll feel that just going up and back is going to be a lot. Then bend the knees and go up and back. Hold on, pull in at the abdominals, and inhale up and exhale back. And just see if this works for you. Now, if it doesn't work with that, it's this. Catch the forearms, the elbows, maybe the forearms, the wrists. And if that doesn't work, or if you don't need a strap, you're lacing your fingers behind your back, because that's fine. Now the strap does something a little different, strength-wise, but then you're bending your knees and you're there, and bring yourself over and bring your arms over your back. So with a strap, gives you a little bit more space. You just have a little bit more openness. You can open the arms, or you can have them together. And just feel this for a moment. And then bend the knees and come back up. And come back up. Look at the ceiling. Ooh. And then come back down. Inhale, exhale. Oh, exhale. Then inhale, exhale while you're here. You don't want to get dizzy. And then bend the knees and come back up. Okay, introduction. Now, another introduction with the strap, or whatever you have, is to open the arms up. This is like upper body sort of stuff, and what you'll see is I'm just going to go forward and back, forward and back, and forward, and just don't go very far. This is your first time, and back. Now, if you don't have a strap, then just bring your arms up and do a little back bend, or go back and forward, go back. Where's your range of motion there? The strap does a little bit of something good. And I'm kind of preparing you for adding something with the strap. So here we are. Now, shake out the arms. Come back to, we're going to do mountain with the strap. When I'm mountain, arms are above your head. If you've got a shoulder issue, good to keep that range of motion. And if you can only lift up this high, then do that. If you can open your arms up this far, then do that. If you can bring the strap together, you're going to see, if you use a strap, you're going to be able to get a little bit different sense of your tricep there, which is something that's hard to stretch and hard to also hard to exercise. So here we are, and you'll feel it. Then open it up and feel that if you haven't, and side to side. My strap goes right on top of my head, and then down. I'm going to show you one more thing with the strap. All of these are things you can practice to see if you can get them fluid. It just happened to be today, since yesterday was 111222. I'm manifesting something new today. So here we are. And what I do with this is I go down, around, and up. And then on the other side, down, around, and up. I might keep that strap as taut as I can. Down, around, and up. And down on the other side, around, and up. And then I do 3 circles on one side, 3 circles. You'll feel this in your arms later. I know you will. And then the other direction. This is also because it's hard to change directions. You'll see one direction will be easier than the other. Then shake out the arms. Then inhale the arms up. And inhale up. And now just stand for a moment. Reach the shoulders up, back, and down. Pull in at the abdominals. Reach the crown to the top of the head. Reach the chin. Don't look up totally, but at least parallel with the floor. Bring the arms behind you and just take a little walk around. Now, this is kind of how our posture should be. And we talked about posture on Monday. And I just pull in at those abdominals and see. And again, you can have a strap, or you could, you could even have a backpack on. That kind of opens up the shoulders. And there's certainly these things you can buy to bring the shoulders back. But this is the easy way. No equipment. It's just going to help you, keep bringing those shoulders back. Pull in at those abdominals, though. Squeeze at the pelvic floor. And you're going to get the kind of understanding. So if you had your arms like this and you're just taking a walk, what happens to me is I forget about my abdominals. And they're not strong enough for me to actually, they need to get strengthened and strengthened and strengthened. And I totally forget about the pelvic floor. But when I do remember, then that pelvic floor just zips right up the front to that belly button, and it lifts me up. Also, the work we do to strengthen the buttocks helps, and that we'll do on Friday. Okay, now get back to the floor and find your resting place. It's 12 o'clock, so in 5 minutes we'll come back, but drop the chin to the chest, roll down the spine, and decide what you want to do for these 5 minutes. You can just go to Shavasana and know that that's an integrative posture, and you really want to integrate. Those of you who love, what's this called, child? Do child, fold back, do child. Give a moment in child. Doing that fold. And decide, you can stay there longer. If you want to go to your legs up the wall, this is the time to do that. And if you don't have a wall, then you can take a cushion or a block and put your legs up the wall. And also those of you who love to go into that reclined goddess, supported reclined goddess, you can lie on your bed. You can sit on a chair and just sort of be quiet and breathe. So let me while we're in this final time, I'll try to see if I can read this. Okay, the first 14 steps. An animal from each one. Step 1, bottom of the earth. And it's a horse. Oh no, it's an elephant. Step 2 is imagination, and it's a horse. Step 3 is the squirrel, and it's my life is simple and harmonic. And then we have the fox. I feel safe. And it's sort of like being light, feeling earth weightlessness. And then feeling a little detached and weightless, bald eagle. I'm connected. I feel real. And then we have the water element. Weightlessness in water, fluidity, the whale, the dolphin, even the octopus. I flow gently through the waters. These are all, once we've gone through the vortex and we're settled in our new place. We just have all these wonderful things that are happening. And then we stay there for as long as we might stay there. Some of us make transitions a lot, and some of us don't. Then we become the lion or the cat, some kind of cat. I feel realigned. I feel organized. It's all in perfect order. And then it gets a little more gentle, and I'm a sheep. I might be a giraffe. I am honest and trusting. Then I'm a chicken or an opossum. And I am heard and seen. And then I am a kangaroo. And I am in a very tiny writing here. I'm a kangaroo, and I'm guided. And I'm still working with weightlessness and just sort of going through life as then an otter. I'm playful, honest, I'm authentic. Then I'm flexible and calm, and I am a deer and an antelope. And then I have one more before I make my change. And I start to maybe head into a wall because I'm making a change. I'm a goat, a donkey, or a road runner. I am refreshed. I meet and I live with ease. Is just, these are the affirmations to change the energy that might be there that keeps us grounded rather than diving into the change of the vortex. So when you feel complete with that, I know it's already 2:06, so letting go and bringing your hands to your heart. Again, namaste. Peace, shalom, salam, pak shanti, pache, mir maluhia, Frieden, hong sang. May we have peace, and may what we do here go out onto the world and make more peace. Thank you so much for being here. I'm gonna roll over to my side and then come up and then come all the way up and come back. Do whatever you need to do for yourself. You don't need to come back if that's not to your highest good. Okay, Mara, gotta run. Okay, yeah, because we ended a little late there. I'm gonna come back. Remember, I have to